We have copies. It looks like Daryl's giving everybody a copy of all of our signees, and so happy to share more if you need it. Before I bring Coach Brown up, I just want to say thank you to our coaching staff and our support staff for football for the hard work you have put into these last few months. It's really more than a couple months, but it really culminates now, of course. But thank you. I mean, wonderful young men you're bringing to our campus. Thank you. Obviously, Coach Brown's telling you a lot more about them, but it's 27, more than half, 15 from Arkansas coming to our institution. Isn't that great? We're excited about it. We will have our season ticket renewals open early March, so be on the lookout for that. And we open up at Arkansas State in Jonesboro, always a great time up there in Jonesboro. And then the third weekend of the year, September 14th, is our home opener against Austin Peay State, which is, I would say, a little rival now for us, huh? So we owe them a little something when they come back here in September. Anyway, let's hear about these signees. Coach Brown, thank you. Come on up and tell us about them.
All right, first thing I want to say is thank you to everybody being here and obviously watching. Once we put it out and online, a lot of time and effort put into recruiting, not only for the sport of football, but compliment to all of UCA athletics for bringing in unbelievable student athletes that I think, as important as it is what they do on the field on Saturdays for us. But what they do in the classroom and also in the community of Conway. Some real quick thank yous before I get started on these guys and just, basically brag about this group we're bringing in is obviously Dr. Teague mentioned our coaching staff. There's a lot of time, effort spent on the road, away from home, away from kids, away from wives, away from the community of Conway. And really, maybe the toughest part, obviously other than our families, is leaving our own players, right? We leave those guys for periods of time and to bring in the next crop of young men. So those men do a phenomenal job. They represent not only themselves, but our program and this university and community as well as anybody could. I would say that those men do as good a job as anybody of representing and really promoting this university, not just the athletic side of it, but the university side of it, what all we have to offer as a university. So I'm just so proud to have those men go to battle with those guys every Saturday and what they represent and who they are. Also want to thank our administration, our faculty, our staff. It's such an easy place to promote. And that's what we feel like, and we felt this way for years, that if we can get a young man and his family on our campus, then there's a good chance we're going to end up getting them. One, the campus shows well, right? It's a beautiful campus. But two, there's not many people you come across throughout a weekend, an official visit, that don't do a good job of representing this university. And that has to do with people that have nothing to do with athletics. I think of a perfect example is Dr. Austin in the planetarium. I mean, we use the planetarium to show our highlight video. It's one of the coolest things you've ever seen. So we do all these planetarium events, and he goes out of his way 3 or 4 Saturdays in December and January to show our highlight video, and it's a hit. I mean, so things like that, simple things like the cafeteria, the student center, all those places on campus that we try to show off. All the people involved do a great job of that, as well as the community of Conway. Obviously, UCA shows well, but also the community of Conway always shows out. And there's not a better time than December to bring in a bunch of official visits when Conway has the big Christmas tree and all the things that comes with it. It's just a perfect setting for our recruits and their families when they get on campus, and that's a great deal. So please, if you get a chance, shake these coaches' hands, hug their neck. They do a great job. And, we see what you guys see what we do on Saturdays, but it's much, much more to get to Saturday than what a lot of people realize. And I know you guys that are sitting in here as Bear fans probably realize it more than the common fan because it means something to you, but it really does. It's an amazing deal. You'll see that a lot of us have some of our families here, hug their neck too. They do a great job supporting us along the way as well. My wife Jessica and kids are here, Riley and Luke, and they're a great support system for me. I would be hard pressed and probably would regret. She would never want me to do this, and she's not in attendance tonight, but I can't thank Stephanie Crane enough for what she does. She is our rock and keeps us organized in travel and recruiting. She does a lot of things for us on the home base here at Estes Stadium. Stephanie does a great job of that. Chase, I can't thank you and your team enough. Chase takes a lot of time out of his day in evenings on Friday nights. We do a photo shoot on Friday nights a lot of times of official visits. I'm sure Chase and his team would have a lot of things to do at about 8 p.m. on a Friday night, but, man, they're there consistently and put out some of the best media stuff that our level of football has to offer consistently. So can't thank Chase and his team enough. Also, the UCA ambassadors, I want to thank them. They're here every Saturday. They give our students tours and do a great job of that. They spend about an hour and a half with us throughout Saturdays. Really, really pleased, and they do a great job of representing UCA from a different perspective, right? A non-athletic perspective, more from a student's perspective, and obviously showing off the campus. So very, very pleased with them. And look, this is a great class of young men. We're in a new era of football, and so with this era of football, you're going to start seeing, continued high school recruiting. That's an emphasis of ours. We believe to sustain success, you still have to recruit quality high school young men. That's not going to change. We've done a good job here over the years of retaining our players with the transfer portal era. By doing that allows you to continue to recruit high school kids. You're not having to turn your roster over consistently, right? If you're able to retain your players and keep them in your system and in your program, more times than not, you don't have to turn your roster over and flip it like a lot of schools tend to have to do in this age. So that's why you see 19, I believe, high school signees in this class. But we will continue. You'll see a heavy emphasis on Mississippi junior colleges. Those have been a huge hit for us. We did a study a few years back, and we looked at transfers and where success comes from. And the Mississippi junior college system has been batting near 1,000 for us. And when I say 1,000, they come here at some point in their career, whether it's a 2-year or 3-year career, because obviously they're a mid-year transfer. They've either received their AA degree, so they have 2 years or 3 years of eligibility, depending on if they redshirted. Almost 1,000% clip of being a quality starter, all-conference player, and All-American. And so you're going to see us continue to recruit that state and those junior college systems heavily, which you'll see in these group of men we've signed. And then obviously the transfer portal will be sprinkled in there as well. We've had a higher number of Division I and Division II transfers over the last couple of years, and that's just the world we're in. And so, some of our, we look at a guy that just graduated who was a Division I transfer in Gerard Barnes a few years back, had a great career here. You look at a guy like David Walker, as a Division II transfer from the transfer portal, who has a chance to be a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year if he has a season on par like he has his first 2 years here going into 2024. So you're going to continue to see us try to fit that mold, recruit that profile of type of kid as we continue to push through this. So I'm going to try to be fairly quick. I know everybody's time's precious, so got a few names to get through right here, and obviously we're very excited to show these guys off and what they are. These first group of guys I want to show you guys is guys that are on campus already. In other words, they're in 15 hours of classes. They're working out. They're entrenched in our system, our culture, what we're doing right now in our program here at UCA already. The first young man I want to mention is maybe Coach Scott will tell you this. We don't sleep very good at night if we ain't got those specialists right, do we, Coach Scott? And so we had to replace Chandler Caharon, who was an all-conference punter for us the last 3 years, and really had a great last 2 years of his career. He has moved on. He had a year of eligibility left because of COVID and was graduated, decided to move on. Actually got in PT school here at UCA, so he decided to move on. I said, man, you sure you don't want to come back and play football, or do you want to go do the PT thing? So he's going to go ahead and get into PT school. So we had to replace him immediately. Trace Beard, we signed him from East Mississippi Community College. Trace is a long kid. He's about 6'2", 190 pounds. You can see on your, if y'all want to follow along with me, you've got some of these stats with you. He had 24 punts at a 42-yard average. You'll see in some of these punts, and it's harder to see when you're watching specialists, but great hang time. He has a punting lineage. His dad was a specialist. His uncle actually played with me here at UCA as our starting punter in 2008 and 2009. I was not playing in 2009, but he played with me my senior year. He is now a coach in the state of Mississippi. He was a junior college All-American, honorable mention. Also played for the national championship with East Mississippi this year. So they had a long run in the season this year. Obviously, East Mississippi is one of the best programs in the nation at the junior college level. And Trace has been their starting punter for a couple of years and has done a great job of that. He's been great since he's got here. Comes from a great family. His dad's superintendent of his high school, comes from an education background. But we're very excited about Trace. He's going to come in and fill a need and a void right away with the absence of Chandler moving forward. So we're excited about Trace Beard. The next young man is Mark Dorsey. He's a defensive back from Coahoma Community College out of Shaw, Mississippi. About 6 foot, 6'1", 180 pounds. Very productive player from Coahoma Community College. Again, you can see his stats: 60 tackles, 2 forced fumbles, 4 pass breakups. He was an honorable mention Mississippi Junior College All-State selection. He was a Chris Mix Dandy 40 list prospect. Again, offers from McGee State, Northwestern State, SEMO. Again, won a recruiting battle with him, got him and his folks on campus, and they fell in love with UCA. And that's what you're really looking for is young men that know how to work hard. Again, he's a impactful guy. When you bring in a guy like him in the secondary, you expect him to come in and make an impact right away. So we're excited about Mark and what he brings to the table. Again, he's done a great job in his short amount of time here for the last couple weeks. Very long, rangy kid that I think can get in the mix quick as far as competing for a job right away in 2024. Jacobquiller, again, another defensive back from East Central Community College, originally from West Point, Mississippi. Not quite as long a kid as Mark, probably about 5'11", 180 pounds. What excites me about McQuiller is that he was East Central's leading tackler this year. So production follows usually, right? Usually if you can get somebody with high production rate, then you're going to see success happen at their next stop. He had 79 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 2 interceptions. He just could fill the stat sheet. Very impressive young man. Actually, probably one of the, and some of my coaches will probably agree with this, probably one of the more impressive starts to his semester out of anybody. I mean, he's came in and basically looking for a job. And it's exciting to see. And he carries himself like a champion. He carries himself like a mature young man that's going to have success and really put a stamp on this program, I think, in a positive way. But he comes downhill. He's not afraid of contact, but also has the ability to cover from the safety and nickel position. So we're excited about what Jacoby brings to the table. Next young man is a massive man, 6'5", about 335 pounds. I don't know, that might be a little bit light there, huh, Gunner? 335, it's a little higher, okay, a little higher. Dylan Spencer, he originally signed with University of Missouri, transferred from the University of Missouri and ended up at Northwest Community College. He's originally out of Madison, Mississippi. They're just north of Jackson. This is a big man, and we've got to continue to recruit physicality, size. Not only that, but the twitch with that ability. If you see Dylan once and he shakes your hand, you won't forget him. He's a kid that's going to come in right away and compete for a starting job. He played left guard for Northwest. He could really slot in at 3 or 4 different positions on the front. We only lost one offensive lineman off the group last year, which was Josh George, who was a senior from Benton, Arkansas. So Dylan adds immediate presence at that position. He's been in the SEC, obviously played in one of the top programs in junior college football in Northwest Community College there. And again, to win in November, to win in December, and to get where we want to get and continue to push where we want to get, you have to recruit size, physicality, and speed. And again, he's got great feet for his size. And he's a kid that has really came in and done a great job in entrenching himself in the offense and offensive line room, and excited to watch him continue to grow. So we're excited about Dylan Spencer. Another large man, Jackson Kosmeyer, tight end from Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College, originally from Biloxi, Mississippi, down on the coast. And that's not a typo. He's 6'7", 260 pounds. He's a large human, and he's what you want tight ends to look like. He's a prototype size tight end with a lot of twitch. Again, he's got great size. He can block in line, but he's also athletic enough that you can split him out, move him around, do some different things with him. He's a kid that we won a heavy recruiting battle against UT Chattanooga with. I mean, he's a young man that really blossomed in his second year there at Gulf Coast. You can see he's got speed for that size. That doesn't look like a 6'7", 260-pound man running down the field right there. We think his upside's enormous. Again, you can see him pulling right there on a gap scheme. He can get out there. He can kick out linebackers. He can also take on defensive ends. And so, again, size. If you can get size in your front, that's going to help. Jackson fits that mold and exactly what we're looking to accomplish with that position. Excited about bringing him into the mix with Jordan Owens, Tyler Siddons, some of the tight ends. We're starting to look the part at that position, and that's exciting. Eli Wisdom is a transfer from Army. He is originally from Shiloh Christian High School in Springdale, Arkansas. You can see his stats. Again, one of the most decorated athletes to ever play high school football in this state. Career passing, he played quarterback at Shiloh Christian. 8,267 yards, 94 touchdowns. Look at the rushing stats. That's not running back rushing stats. That's from the quarterback position. He rushed for almost 4,000 yards and another 62 touchdowns. He was the 2022 Arkansas Gatorade Player of the Year, which is obviously the highest honor for a high school athlete as far as football goes. 3-time All-State selection, 5A West Player of the Year 3 times, was a 3-star recruit by 24/7. Very smart, sharp kid. He was an Honor Society member, Farm Bureau Player of the Year. The accolades and lists go on and on and on. We plan on using him at the wide receiver position right now. He's going to come in and play the slot position. He's got great ability. Obviously, you can see on film with the football in his hands. Comes from a great family. Comes from a great program in that Shiloh Christian program. Took a shot and swing at the academy, and it just didn't work out. Wasn't quite what he wanted. So we were right there waiting on him. We recruited him when he came out of high school. And you know, I don't want to say that he won't eventually be a quarterback here. We don't know. I mean, he's an athlete. We want to get the football in his hands in as many different ways as we can. And the more kids you can sign like this, the more creative we can be on offense. And I think Eli is a perfect example of that. He's got a great arm, but again, he's dynamic with the football in his hands. And I think that's what intrigues us the most about him. So he's on campus. He's already entrenched in the program. He looks the part. Matter of fact, we had a mat drill yesterday, and he was one of the ones that I thought showed out and looked like he belonged. So we're excited about Eli and what he's going to bring to the table in our program. Arley Lee, wide receiver. He played at the University of Arkansas Monticello in the 2023 football season. He's 6'2", 210 pounds. Again, a very, very physical presence receiver. Here's the cool thing about Arley. He is David Walker's brother. Okay, so if he has the same career David Walker has, we're in for a treat for the next 3 years. He's a special athlete, can play on the inside, can play on the outside at receiver. He was an all GAC selection as a freshman at UAM. He was the only freshman on the all-conference team in the Great American Conference. Again, we have a track record of success of taking Division II young men from the portal that decide to enter it, and Arley was a perfect spot for that, and he's got a connection here. David Walker, right? But he is a great young man. It's cool because when we were recruiting him and he actually committed to us, he was on, David Walker, where did he go, Lodge? Vietnam last May. When Arley Lee committed to us, he was on a mission trip in New Orleans. So just unbelievable kids from a great family, just a good kid. And I think you can see he's a 50-50 ball guy. I mean, he's a guy you can throw it up. He's got good speed and size. But, man, what you see about him is just his physical presence with his hands and the way he controls his body. Excited about him and what he brings to the table here and immediately. Again, we brought him to be an immediate impact next year. John Jackson is a defensive tackle from Northeast Mississippi Community College, originally out of Columbus. Again, you can see the size. He's 6'1", but he's 305 pounds. Again, John's another one of those guys, when you shake his hand, you'll remember him. I promise. He squeezes that thing tight. He's got one of the most business-like mentalities I think we've ever recruited. He had an idea what he wanted in a school. UCA was what he wanted in a school, and he jumped on it. He had other stuff, he had other opportunities, but he had a vision, and he went and wanted it. Just a great kid that is going to have a ton of success here. Again, can't have enough quality depth on the interior of your defensive line. Those guys have got to hold up. You know, we're going to have to replace a couple guys, Stephon McGlon, Jace McCoy, you know, from the inside of our defensive line. Well, John is an immediate impact guy to go along with Bradley Clark, Javion Jones, and some of those guys we have back that have had success. And again, you know, he's got big, heavy legs. He can hold double teams. And that's what you want out of your inside guys. Hold those double teams, do a good job holding your gap, and let those linebackers go make plays, and John fits that mold. That is the guys that are enrolled here right now. Now, I will say this, the recruiting doesn't stop. You know, as far as transfers go, it's continuing to happen. Matter of fact, Coach Scott, Coach Stacks, and I had a conversation about, can't mention them, but man, a great kid down the road, you know, in the portal that's looking for a place to be. Our recruiting never stops. And so there could be more that happens over the coming months. And we're excited, and we've got a few spots that we feel like we'll have available to possibly add to the mix as we continue over the next couple months leading into May. And so that's always a fluid deal, and that's how recruiting has gone. And so we're obviously adjusting to that. This is our group of high school signees. Again, like I said, we're fortunate enough to retain, 85, 90% of our roster is back, you know, and so when that happens, you can develop. Look, the Bears are developing, and so, what's the advantage to that? Well, you get guys in your system that understand what you're trying to create culture-wise as an 18-year-old. It's easier to develop habits at 18 years old than it is to develop habits at 21, 22 years old. It just is. So if we can get young men into our program and what we want to do in our system, then good things we feel like will happen, and you can sustain success. And I think sustaining success is important. First guy I want to mention, obviously super excited about this young man, Eric McGee. He is one of our quarterback signees out of Parkview High School in Little Rock. He's about 6 foot, 190. Can't wait for y'all to watch some of these clips. He's a 4'4" kid. He is 28-2 as a starter, has won 2 straight 5A state championships as starting quarterback there at Parkview High School. He is literally, I don't want to say single-handedly because there's a lot of cats on that team, a lot of guys to recruit, including a lot of juniors and stuff moving forward. But I want to say he had a heavy part into reviving that Parkview program into what it is now. They're one of the best programs in the state. They're one of the best programs in the South. He came to camp and showed out. Again, fast kid. He can throw from all arm slots, which really excite Coach Collins and I. You get some guys that look like robots. He's not a robot. Again, Will McElvain at times is not a robot. He can throw from all, but you can see what he can do with the ball in his hands, with his running ability, but also just getting the ball out fast from point A to point B in a quick manner. And you see that. I mean, that's just a whip, and that's going about, 60 yards, 55 yards. But again, there's a reason why he was, in 30 games, he won 28 of them and won 2 state championships. Just a very, very special young athlete that we can't wait to get in our program here at UCA. Next young man is another quarterback signee, Jack Patterson, out of North Point Christian High School there in North Mississippi, originally from Marion, Arkansas. Jack's about 6'3", 190 pounds. Jack's brother played for us, Jamison Patterson, at tight end for 4 years, from 2018 to about 2020 to 21, somewhere in there. So his brother had a great experience here at UCA. We saw him grow up. We watched Jack grow up, and Jack grew into one of the most prolific passers in that state's history. Again, you can see at 3,129 yards, 32 touchdowns this year, but look at his career. Almost 500 completions, 7,422 yards, 72 touchdowns. He was a Division II AA All-State selection. He was also West Region Player of the Year, 3-star recruit, 74th rated quarterback in the nation, Elite 11 quarterback nominee. I mean, he's got the accolades to build a resume. But very, very excited to bring in 2 young quarterbacks to tutor under Will McElvain and Austin Myers, who we're very excited about, also still in our program. From Bologna, who we signed a couple of years ago. We feel like he's going to be a stud after Will. But these 2 guys will come in and compete. And look, I like having guys in the same class. Let them go compete with each other. And both both of them have different tools. Again, Eric has some running ability. You can see Jack can make a play with his feet, keep plays alive, but Jack has a great arm and really has a cerebral mindset to be a really good quarterback for us. So excited about Jack and getting him in our program. Elijah Jackson is one of our 3 running back signees this year out of Ryder High School in Wichita Falls, Texas. Again, Elijah is 6'1", 220 pounds. So again, Darius Hell, large man. Colin James the last 3 years, large man. Shunderick, he's not quite as large. He's fast though. But we've had a great track record of really, really big running backs coming in that are physically gifted and ready to go. Elijah's no different. Again, he fits that Colin James type role. He's good with the ball in his hands. He plays a lot of positions. Again, you can see his statistics. Look at here's what's pretty cool. Look at his defensive stats. I mean, he has all these yards rushing, 34 touchdowns, 440 yards, 4 yards receiving, but he also had 254 tackles, 20 sacks, and 3 interceptions. He's just a football player. I mean, that's what you're looking at the end of the day is production, and you're also looking for guys that love the game. And he's hard. You're not going to take him down with a safety or one guy. You've got to gang tackle this guy. You can see he's a 24/7 3-star recruit. He's listed as an athlete on 24/7. He's 163rd rated athlete in the nation. Had a lot of big offers after his junior year. They kind of fizzled once he didn't commit. And this young man was fortunate enough. Nelson Gunnell did a great job recruiting him and staying with him even with those heavy offers. And he ended up getting to us. And we're excited about Elijah and what he brings to the table in our program. Michael Wilson, second running back. Again, a little bit different physical body than Elijah is, from Spring, Texas. Klein Collins High School, 5'10", 180 pounds. You can see the production off of his stat sheet. But again, he's got home run type speed. When the ball is in his hands, you're not going to catch him. Again, I don't want to say it'd be hard for me to find somebody that's as fast as Shunderick, but very similar type mold to what his body type is. Also caught the ball a lot out of the backfield, 880 yards receiving, 10 touchdowns. He was a Region 15 All-District selection 2 years in a row, All-State third team in the 6A level, and it was a Rivals 2-star recruit. Houston area has been a great pipeline for us over the years. You think about some of the kids we've gotten from down there: Darius Hell, Cameron Godfrey, Tyler Hudson. I mean, those are all Houston area kids. This kid was recruited the same way. Again, plays a high brand of football there. I think he's going to translate well to our program and hopefully be able to compete right away. Again, we've done a great job recruiting a heavy, talented backfield, and this kid's going to add to that mix. And so we're going to figure it out. And again, the more talent you have back there, the more creative you can be, and it'll give us an opportunity to hopefully get the ball in a lot of quality players' hands. And I think Michael's a kid that can come in and give us a boost right away when he gets here. Dennis Gaines from East Poinsett High School in Lepanto, Arkansas. Again, similar size to Michael, okay? You're not reading this wrong either, okay? This is the most decorated running back in Arkansas high school football history, okay? He set the Arkansas high school football single season rushing record in 2022. He had 3,232 yards and 44 touchdowns in a season. A season now. That's not his career. He's got over 7,000 yards and 94 touchdowns, which came in second, I believe, to Cedric Houston, who played in Clarendon, who played for the University of Tennessee. That'd probably fire up Rush Harding, wherever he's at. That's his stomping grounds. But this kid is decorated now. He can play several positions. Again, he had 380 career tackles, 6 sacks. If you play at East Poinsett County, you're going to play basically every snap of the game. And so Dennis did that and did it at a high quality. They went to the state championship game this year, obviously riding on his back and what he can do with the success he had and his ability. Again, you can see he's not a big kid, but he's physical. So Dennis is going to come in. He's just a great young man, has a great family, enjoyed his time here, had some other options that he could have went with, but he chose the Bears. And we're tickled to death to have Dennis in our program, and look forward to him coming in and making an impact. Announce from Bryant High School. He's first of 3 Bryant High School signees. Bryant has been a good spot for us over the last few years. And so Matoran, we feel like it's going to be no different. He's about 5'11", 180 pounds. Again, a kid that early on was committed to another program in our state, a Division I program in our state, and it just worked out to where we got him back. And so we're fired up about Matoran and what he brings to the table. Obviously, he was a part of 2 state championships there at Bryant High School. I don't remember what was the number they won in a row. It was like 56 straight games. He doesn't go home a loser very often. And so when you recruit winners and you recruit young men like that, that's obviously important. He was a 2-time All-State selection, had 40 catches this year for 833 yards, very productive with 12 touchdowns. He's a 2-time 7A state champion, rated the second-rated wide receiver recruit in the state of Arkansas. So we feel like Matoran can fill a role quickly. He's got a maturity about him, has been tutored very well on running routes, and has great hands. Had him in camp as well, and he showed out when he was in camp. So looking forward to Matoran and his success in our offense. Aiden Joseph from Plaquemine High School there in Plaquemine, Louisiana. Here's what's exciting is we kind of got out of Louisiana for a few years. It's been a couple years since we've signed a kid from the state of Louisiana. I want to give credit to Walker Ashman, our interior defensive line coach. He's originally from New Orleans. He's got a ton of connections down there, and we were able to, I believe, bring in 2 young men from the state of Louisiana, and obviously Aiden Joseph is a big piece of that. He fits that long, rangy, young wide receiver mold, 50-50 ball type catcher. Very, very physical kid, but 69 catches, over 1,500 yards, 14 touchdowns, a 2-time all-district selection, an all-state selection, also a all-district selection in basketball and track. A multi-sport athlete, a very, very smart kid, AB honor roll, 3.3 GPA. He's just going to bring a lot to the table. And we feel like he's got some upside that we can really tap into. You can see with being that size and that length with the ball in his hands is very impressive. Being able to be that size, a lot of times you see guys like Matoran size, 5'11", that can take those quick screens and go take it for a touchdown. But again, at his size, that's impressive. Again, being a kick returner at his size is also an asset to add to his tools in his tool belt. And so you see he's got home run speed. He can leave people playing against really, really talented players in the state of Louisiana. He's also got some good-looking family members that may be coming down the pipeline too. So we're excited about that. Miles Miller, Faulkner County young man. So Greenbrier High School, 5'11", 175 pounds. You're not going to find many across this state that are as productive as Miles. Huge senior year. He was a finalist for the Faulkner County Player of the Year, had 88 catches this year in Coach Tribble's offense, almost 1,400 yards, 19 touchdowns, was an all-state selection, also a letterman in 3 other sports. And yeah, that's right, he's a bowler. He goes bowling, so he does it all. It's pretty impressive. Very excited about Miles. Again, right here in our backyard, a kid that's explosive. Coach Tribble's seen a lot of football in his career. He's coached at the collegiate level. He knows what they look like, and he said this kid's going to get in your program. He's going to do everything you ask. He gains a little bit of weight, adds a little bit of twitch. He's going to be a special player for us because he's got a winner mentality. And so very, very blessed to have Miles on board with us. And again, keeping him close to home, it just means more to student athletes sometimes when they're able to stay close to home. And so we're excited about Miles Miller and what he brings to our program as well. Keelan Junior, again, good size, tight end out of Malvern High School, 6'4". 240 pounds. He's every bit of 6'4". He may be pushing over 6'4". He truly looks the part. Again, a very decorated recruit. Again, had a lot of quality offers. You can see Memphis, Arkansas State, UNLV, Navy. I mean, you go down the list. He's a 3-star recruit, 23rd rated recruit in the state of Arkansas. Again, 36 catches, 567 yards, 9 touchdowns. He is as far as high school young tight ends and the way they look, if you go to anybody in that conference that played against Malvern, and even some people that played them in the summer in team camps, they all rave about this young man. He's a difference maker. We feel like he can come in and compete right away. I mean, we'll see. I mean, he plays a tough position that you got to be really physical in, but we feel like he brings that presence right away. He was a state champion in 2022 there at Malvern, and he is one of 2 Malvern kids we were fortunate enough to sign. And again, position of tight end, that's a dying breed. It's hard to find young tight ends that look like he does. And we were fortunate to find him within our state walls, and we went and got him. And it's a great job by Coach Novak, Coach Collins, Coach Scott, everybody that recruited him. We're excited to get him here in our uniform, and he's going to make that room better immediately when he walks on campus. And so we're excited about that. Second high school tight end we signed was Jake Jones out of Hoxie, Arkansas, 6'2", 225 pounds. We've had a little run of Hoxie here at UCA, and so we're excited about that. Shanderick Powell's a Hoxie high school kid. Jace Banesh, our linebacker, is a Hoxie, Arkansas kid. So Jake's the next one. They know what they look like, and Jake was the next one. And we got on him early. He committed. He may have been the first commit in this high school class, and he stuck with us the whole way. He reminds me a lot of a little bit more athletic young Austin Eldridge. Austin Eldridge didn't get a lot of glory, but man, he did a lot of dirty work for his whole career. I mean, he was a great blocker for us. Had some timely catches, some timely touchdowns. I think that's what Jake can turn into. He's a great he's an all-state basketball player, so he's an athlete. Looks really good on the court. He's also a very, very sharp kid when it comes to the classroom. National high school scholar, National Honor Society member. Just a good tweener body that you can move around on offense and really play with. So gives us a little bit of versatility with Jake and what he can give us as far as his future goes. Second Malvern high school kid we signed was Vinnie Wyers from Malvern. High school is 6'4", 300 pounds. Vinny's again a highly decorated recruit. 24/7 3-star recruit, 17th rated recruit in Arkansas. Was 2022 4A state champion. Also National Honor Society member, 3.4 GPA. Maybe one of the more fun kids we recruited. Has a great personality. He's a cool story about Vinny. When he gets done with workouts in school, he goes straight to work at the Loves there in Malvern. So if you ever go through down I-30, stop in there and ask for Vinny. He'll hook you up with a hot dog or something. Hard-working kid, tough kid. Again, comes from a great program there. Coach Plumley does a great job. He did a great job there at Malvern and raved about him. He was an anchor to their success over the last 3 years. Vinny was a 3-year starter there. Was a very, very, very highly recruited kid early on. You can see he had SEC offers, Big 12 offers early on. Didn't commit early, so a lot of times when you don't commit early, people move on. And so we stuck with him the whole way through. Coach Boykin did a great job recruiting him. And again, another in-state quality offensive lineman we're fortunate enough to bring into our program and hopefully develop as the years go by. All right, from here, we're going to shift to the defensive side. Of high school signees. And the first one's going to be Jaden Moore, our second state of Louisiana signee from West Feliciana High School there in St. Francisville, Louisiana. Again, 6'3", 290 pounds. This is what I picture when I watch the FCS championship. When you watch Montana, when you watch South Dakota State playing, I picture a kid that looks like these next 2 defensive tackles anchor in the middle of their defensive line. So just a huge upside with Jaden Moore. Again, 50 tackles, 7 sacks, 12 tackles for loss from the defensive line position, which is obviously high quality. 2022, 2023, 4A District 6 all selection. Also plays baseball, so that shows that he's got a little athletic ability. Louisiana Max Preps Rising Star list. Had some Southland Conference stuff. Had some Ohio Valley Conference stuff, and I thought Coach Ashburn did a great job recruiting him, getting him up here, getting him committed early. Also comes from a great family. We're excited to bring him in. Again, getting some young quality interior defensive linemen to go along with the veterans we have. That's going to be good. These kids come in, they earn a job, and they're ready to play right away. Let's go. That's going to make us better. I tell every recruit we sign, plan to play. But it's also good to get guys coming here that have this size and ability to come in and develop, which we feel like he can do. Reed Jones got into Tulsa, Oklahoma this year. Bishop Kelly High School, Coach Johnson did a great job recruiting Reed along with Coach Ashburn. 6'3" again, similar size, 6'3", 295 pounds. He is similar size to Jaden. You can see 106 tackles, 6 sacks, 7 tackles for loss. Here's the great part. He's a defensive lineman. He was the 5A4 Defensive Player of the Year in that district. Oklahoma Prep All-World Team selection. Also a baseball and a basketball letterman, so there's the athletic ability, right? He's 295 pounds, and you're playing baseball and basketball. That's pretty impressive. So that means he's probably got pretty good feet. He's probably can hold his body weight fairly well at that size. Hopefully these two young men I just mentioned are staples inside of our defensive line for years to come. Just young, quality freshmen that we can develop and grow and hopefully turn into something special. You can see his academic accolades as well. A very sharp kid, had a lot of interest as well with FCS offers and chose us, and we're excited about that. Another in-state player, again, defensive end, Carmelo Allen, 6'3", 240 pounds from Fordyce, Arkansas. Not 100% sure, but I think the last Fordyce stud we signed was Contrell Rogers. That was a pretty good career here, right? Yeah, that was a good one, right? So it's good to get back down there in Fordyce. What a great football that is. I might be wrong there, so if I think I know, but if I'm singling anybody out, I'm sorry. But Carmelo, wow, this kid's special. He's going to slot into a defensive end position for us, but you can see they just put him at middle linebacker and let him play football. I mean, watch some of these clips. I mean, he gets from point A to point B with bad intentions, and usually you're going backwards. And he was a super heavily recruited kid. Arkansas State, SEMO, UAPB, Lindenwood had 292 career tackles, 20 sacks on his career, 36 tackles for loss. Just this year, 102 tackles, 8 sacks, 19 tackles for loss. He was a 3-star recruit. He's, from my knowledge, the highest rated in-state recruit we've ever signed as far as 24/7 goes. He's the 12th rated recruit in the state of Arkansas. All-state selection in 2022-2023. He was Region 8 Defensive Player of the Year, Farm Bureau Defensive Player of the Year finalist. You name it, he's done it. You can see just his twitch he has. You dream and you hope that this kid turns into David Walker. He's actually a bigger body right now in his coming out of high school than David was. He's got a little more length, but again, small Arkansas high school ball that you hope you can turn into something special. I know Coach Davis did a phenomenal job recruiting him and getting him on board, him and his family. We think he can make an instant impact. We recruited this kid to be an instant impact guy, and we think he can be. So we're excited about Camilo. Zane Widner from Clinton High School, 6'2", 220 pounds. I call him the Swiss Army knife, pretty much does it all. Very, very special prep career he had. Played in a dead tee kind of wishbone offense, played fullback and running back for him. You can see his offensive stats, career, had 3,408 rushing yards, 53 touchdowns also in that offense. Had over 1,000 yards receiving, 15 touchdowns. Look at his defensive stats, 219 tackles, 8 sacks, 5 interceptions. Again, probably the most under-recruited kid in this class. If he's playing at Bryant High School, we're probably not touching this kid, just being totally honest with you. Just a ton of upside. Again, 2022, 2023 4A All-State selection, 4A Region 4 Player of the Year. He was a Farm Bureau 4A Player of the Year finalist, All-State basketball player. Just type in Zane Widner dunks, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's pretty phenomenal. I mean, he to me. I don't want to put unreal expectations on him, but watching the way he plays basketball, just some of the movements he has, he reminds me of Jake Goldday a little bit. Now he's from Clinton. It's not looked at as much and heavily as a lot of schools, just because Clinton's a little bit hidden. But I told this kid, and Coach Cannell did a great job. Nelson did a great job recruiting him. Unbelievable family. I told him that he probably one day will run for president. I mean, he's that type of kid. I mean, he's just an unbelievable young man with just has the look, the charisma that you're looking for. So very excited about Zane and what he brings to the table. Jabari Lockett, Camden Fairview High School in Camden, Arkansas, 6'2", 180 pounds, length. He has unbelievable length, size, and production. Look at his career stats from the defensive back position. 156 tackles, 17 interceptions, 27 pass breakups. Also really, really plus here, 4 block kicks. That's always a plus, right? 2023 All-State selection, top 5, excuse me, I'm down one. He's a 2022, 2023 5A All-State selection, 5A South Defensive Player of the Year. He's what you want to look for when it comes to young, talented defensive backs, because you can't coach length, okay? You can teach them to get better and all those things, but we're not going to stretch somebody out to be 6'2", and he is all of 6'2". When he walks in, he's got a presence about him. He's got a great smile. He was a 2-star recruit by ESPN, and just a huge upside. Had early offers, SEMO, UT Martin, won some recruiting battles against those guys, but Jabari brings instant impact in some form or fashion, I believe, in 2024 as a true freshman. So very excited about Jabari. Second Bryant High School signee of this class, Brendan Bennett, 6 foot, another, again, can't coach length, 6'2", 190 pounds. Brendan was a kid we offered out of camp going into his senior year, so early on. He reminds me, not just because he wears the same number as him, but he is literally T-Bird, Matoran Williams 2.0. I mean, they are the exact same type player. If you talk to Coach Quad Sanders, who played here, was one of my teammates, is now Bryant High School's head football coach, he said this is literally T-Bird 2.0. And so, his maturity is off the charts. He could have graduated as a junior and enrolled. That's how far advanced this kid is. Not only academically, he's a 3-time platinum honor roll, 3.8 GPA, National Honor Society. This kid will fire you up in a lot of ways, and he carries himself like a grown man ought to carry himself already, and that's what you like to work with. And so this Brendan and Jabari add some instant length, add some instant athletic ability to that secondary as true freshmen. So, this will be our last run with a guy like Matoran Wilson. So hopefully this guy's the next in line. Matoran Wilson is going to go down as one of the leading tacklers to ever play at UCA football in the history of the program. So you want to replace him with guys like this, and Brendan fits that bill. Marquel Hambrick from Terrell, Texas, Terrell High School, 5'11", 175 pounds. He might be one of the better all-around football players in this class. Again, very productive career stats, 156 tackles, 17 interceptions. He was an honorable mention All-State 4A in Texas, which that's pretty impressive. A lot of athletes in that state. We all know a 24/7 listed recruit, 2-star Rivals recruit. Again, an All-A honor roll in 2023, a 3.7 GPA. Had early offers from UNLV, UTRGV, who's in our league now. We're starting to kind of recruit against them in the state of Texas. They're kind of starting to get their recruiting going. But again, it comes from a great family. He committed to us, and I think he's probably been one of our better recruiters in this class. He helped us with other kids, and he loves the Bears all the way from the state of Texas. So I think his upside and just his love for us already is going to be something special. So excited about him. And last but not least, and I'm gonna make sure I say this right, Cree, make sure you correct me, and I'd tell Bryson this. Bryson Adams. Am I right? Good. Adams. That's how you say it. So we're gonna have to make sure Steve's good on that. Adams. Out of Bryant. So he's our third Bryant High School signee. Man, this is one that can come in and play right away. And so if you get one that's special right away, they can play the position of corner. Man, it's really with what we do. We're gonna put them in that press coverage, and we're gonna play football. He's physical. I think that's one thing Quad Sanders told me when we recruited this kid. He said that kid right there, you put someone in front of him, he's gonna put him on the sideline. And he's just got great hands. Again, 55 tackles, 7 interceptions, 15 pass breakups. Was an All-State selection, a Rivals 3-star recruit, All-American Bowl invite. Was a 2-time 7A state champion, obviously coming from one of the best programs in the state. And just again adding to that pipeline of great quality players from the city of Bryant. Again, you can see his offers: Arkansas State, Navy, UNLV. Had a lot of traffic. And again, another young man we got on early. I thought Coach Scott did a great job recruiting him and getting him on board. So. that's our group, and we couldn't be more excited about them. There's a host of non-scholarship kids that we're not announcing that are also committed to coming to the university and being a part. And obviously, one of the things that gives me most pride, and I actually recruit this when I talk to non-scholarship players, is I've been here, it's crazy, year 6. We have put 13 UCA non-scholarship players on full scholarship in that time. So if you come here as a non-scholarship player, if you do your job, you got a chance to earn a scholarship. We want to make sure we take care of our own. And so I could go through a whole list of them. So the recruiting never stops, and it starts with your top-tier scholarship kids, and it works all the way down to the freshman walk-on that's coming the first day of class. So again, I want to re-echo my appreciation for our men in here that spend a lot of time, a lot of effort on this. And then one more last thank you to you guys that are here as fans, as supporters. We start spring ball. It's coming quick, March 4th. So the way we structure spring ball is we'll go March 4th. We'll go 2 weeks prior to spring break, take spring break off, and then we will finish up the post 2 weeks after spring break with the spring game on April 6th at 1 p.m. April 6th at 1 p.m. So that'll give you a chance to see some new faces, some new names, some of the guys that we were fortunate enough to sign that are here mid-year, along with a lot of familiar faces, the guys that have had success. So we're looking forward to the 2024 season, and we're looking forward to these guys coming in, getting involved, and getting entrenched in our program. So with that being said, thank y'all. Y'all are awesome.